Hey, good afternoon, Buffalo Bills fans. It is Friday, September, what the hell is today's date? 18th? 18th. So it is the Friday before we play the Dolphins on Sunday. So I got some disappointing news, but that'll be up in just a second. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you don't like it, hit the don't like button. Leave a comment. Tell me what it is you don't like about it. But if you feel really generous, hit that subscribe button, because apparently you can make money doing this. I had no idea. I just did it for fun. I was testing out my video equipment. But now, on to the real stuff. Tremaine Edmunds and Matt Milano are officially out for Sunday's game. I'm really disappointed because I had expected them to play because of the news coming out of Buffalo earlier this week. But that news has since changed. So, as Ryan Montage has pointed out, Dodson and Klein will be taking their place, and I'm really excited about that in a way because they played pretty decent last week. So I'm optimistic. So fingers crossed, Buffalo Bills, that they shut them down, because that's what we want to see. All right, so Tyler Matakevich is also there sitting behind them, and Buffalo signed Dion Lacey to the practice squad this week. So we are getting pretty thin on linebackers. So I really don't like that. That's kind of nerve-wracking. But anyways, who do you expect to have a big day this Sunday for the offense? We're going to go for the offense this time. I'm expecting Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox, and maybe even Tyler Kroft to have big days. My heart's not really with the Tyler Kroft one, but I'm going to throw him in there because he's a tight end. But he hasn't done a whole hell of a lot for Buffalo since they signed him. I know he was injured a lot last year, but I just don't see him getting out of the gate that fast. I'd much rather see they pushed up Tommy Sweeney, but it is what it is. But I expect Dawson Knox and Beasley to each get a touchdown this week. Tell me what you think about that. If you think they're going to be open enough to get a touchdown, I'd really like to know your thoughts on that. And I got to ask, where the hell is Reggie Gilliam, right? They talked about this guy in training camp, that he was the next coming of, the greatest fullback in history. Now, he's not Carwell Gardner, obviously, but many of you probably don't even know who Carwell Gardner was. But anyways, Reggie Gilliam, they talked him up in training camp, and I haven't seen this guy do much of anything on the field yet. So I'd really like to see him in there, especially on the short yardage situations, or even just to open up a hole for, yeah, you guessed it, Devin Singletary or Zach Moss. So now that we're on to those guys, I expect Moss and Singletary and Allen to get a combined 250 rushing yards on the ground this week. I mean, it'd be hard to get rushing yards in the air, so I'm expecting them to get them on the ground. And I really think they can do it. Combined, obviously combined. And even if Yeldon gets brought back up to the active roster, because they might do that, run 5 receivers, bring up Yeldon just to have another running back who can go out in the flat and catch the ball. So I see that as a possibility, which would be really cool because, last year he didn't get a lot of playing time. He's getting paid for not doing much anything. So it's like being a politician. So anyways, Diggs and Brown. So where do you see Diggs and Brown this week? Honestly, I still see them both at about 80 yards. I think each one of them is going to get a nice big long pass to them and probably not get more than 5 or 6 looks apiece throughout the game. And it's nothing against their abilities. It just happens to be that the Dolphins got 2 pretty good corners out there, and Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. So I don't think they're going to see a whole ton of action out there as receivers. Josh Allen might throw for 220, 225, which isn't bad. It's still respectable, and that's what he did last year, and we got a lot of wins. Where are we? So Shaq Lawson, obviously, he's a traitor. Just kidding. He went for the money. Hey, right? Follow the money. So Shaq Lawson is down in Dolphins territory now, playing on the opposite team. But I don't see him as much of a factor. He wasn't much of a factor last week. I don't see him as much of a factor this week. I don't think he could ever catch Josh Allen in practice last year, so he didn't catch Cam Newton at all last week. I see him as a non-factor. But anyways, let me know your game predictions. Let me know what you think this game is going to turn out as. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be somewhere around 35 to 13, give or take, something like that. As long as Tyler Bass can keep kicking his field goals. Not very impressed with his performance last week, but I'm hoping this week he does good. So that's my prediction for that. And remember, stay true to your red, white, and blue. And I'll see you guys later, and go Bills.